Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with day one of Calvinball. And I'm not going to do a video every day, but it's early on in the game. It's day one, so that's as early as you can get. And I thought I'd just kind of show you some of my thought processes as I approach the rules and the game. So if you go to scraphappy.org, there are videos and there's lots of information about how to get into the circle community, and so some of the technical things about what gallery, the gallery within Circle is where you post your layouts, and that's also where I believe the rules are. And then there's a chat where you can chat, and I believe that's also where the leaderboard is, and where you can enter your points. So there are links within those two areas in the Calvinball section of scraphappy.org. And it's absolutely free, so even though there's one of the forms that you fill out to register that kind of makes it look like there's going to be an invoice following, that's just kind of to invoke the process. The invoice is for $0, and so there won't be any charges. So all of that's covered by Alice extensively, and so I'll leave, and if you're watching this video and have not gotten involved in all of that, I don't think I'm the right person to direct you there, because I was already within Scrap Happy and familiar with Circle, because that's where load has been done, and I did that in February. So what I'm going to do here is make my first layout, and as usual, I'm stacking challenges. This is the list of points. The permanent bonus points are for a star and the color green. So I'm going to use a star somewhere, or one or two. You get 1 point no matter how many stars you use, so just so that you know that. And the color green is actually going to be my background, and I'll probably throw it in a couple other places. The temporary bonus points, and you know, if you know my history in Calvinball, you know that I try to get all the available points, or as many as I can, as many as make sense or don't conflict. But I'm probably going to do things a little bit differently this time. When I do a fun layout about the kids, or something like that, I probably will do the no holds barred kind of throw everything on the page, like always. But many of you are aware that my husband passed away last month on February 8th. And I'm inclined, of course, to do a few, or a lot, or many, a bunch of just pages about him. And so I'm doing this one. This is, in going through photos looking for something else, I found this one. It was taken fairly recently, in portrait mode, with the trees in the background blurred so that it could really focus on the main character, which is him. And he's smiling here, which is difficult for Parkinson's patients to do. It's one of the things that they lose when the brain doesn't get the messages to the muscles as efficiently as it used to. But right here, as I say in my journaling, it's more about those eyes. He could still smile with his eyes. That was never taken away from him. And so it's more about the eyes than the curl of the mouth. And I just love this photo. I have no idea. I've got the geotag of where it was taken in Hankomer, Texas or Louisiana. And it was, the dates tell me that it was on the road trip that we took in 2018 to baseball and then Waco and so forth. But I have no idea where we were stopped. It might have been a roadside stop. And it looks like there's a fence or a gate. And I'm saying way too much about this picture. What's pictured in the picture isn't nearly so important as how this, looking at this, makes me feel. So, having said all of that, it's the kind of page where I can slip a star in, and I can use the color green because it's, you know, it's that greenery back there. But using a ball, probably not appropriate unless I had in my journaling tied in the fact that we were on a baseball road trip and threw in a baseball into a cluster somewhere. That's a way that I could do that, but I'm going to choose not to do that. And then finishing an unfinished project, unless you consider it a project to empty this sticker sheet and I end up doing that, I wouldn't say that I could get that point for finishing an unfinished project. So, having said all that, I'm going to go for the 2 points, the star and the green, and the 1 point for it being a 12 by 12 layout. And so we'll go from here. The other thing I'm doing is I'm combining that with Shannon Allor's, and she's known as She's Crafty on Instagram and YouTube. She had a challenge in yesterday's Secret Not Secret Kit Club party, and it's to use this sketch. It's a sketch with a twist, and the sketch is this one, and you can see they're kind of wrinkly paper back there, a vertical strip here, kind of a square strip, photo, arrows, and another arrow, and just miscellaneous things that you could put around there. And you could choose a mood board. And I chose this mood board because of this tree, and because here the woods in the background are kind of blurred like are in my picture. So this is to me, kind of an outdoorsy, woodsy sort of mood in this mood board. So that's why I chose that mood board. Okay. So I'm going to, I need to step away for a minute because I did not get my titles, my possible titles. And the title I want is the word smile. So I'm looking for, that's all the wrong colors, always. Oh, here's smile, and it's in gold. So that's going to work. It's an appropriate size, I think. Let's see, do I have another one? I like scripty titles when I'm doing just one word. And so I'm gonna just, even though that one is fine, I think I'm gonna, here we go, a scripty smile. So I'm gonna pull this back, put this basket on the floor. Okay, thank you for indulging me in that. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is, I've got this scrap of paper. It's from Webster's Pages, Strawberry Fields. And it's a beautiful collection that I hoarded for too many years. And I'm down to scraps now, which is a good thing. And so I'm going to put that on as my vertical element. It was already torn, so I'm using it that way. Instead of my background being the wrinkly paper, I'm going to use kind of a matte sheet here. I'm going to squinch it around and see, and I have lost a little arrow. You know, there it is. Okay, good. I always lose something. That's kind of my thing. My signature style is something's lost on my table. Something got lost on my table. Okay, usually I have more of this work done when I film, but I thought I'd leave it for this. Because I don't think this is going to be a particularly long video, no matter what. I've left the white border around it, which kind of serves somewhat as a mat. And I've got this was cut with my trimmer from this sheet of handmade paper. It's kind of translucent, and it has thicker, kind of hairy fibers in it. And I thought that kind of went with the gnarly woods sort of thing, and I could wrinkle it like this. So I've got it down there. I'm going to place this like that. In the original, there's kind of a zigzag cut there. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to stack a couple of labels just to give some interest there. I've got, this one is a sticker. Just gonna overlay that there. And I have, not that this is apropos of anything important, but I cut apart these rub-ons, and they're kind of lying around needing to be used, or else I'll lose them. So this is kind of a use it or lose it thing, and it adds another bit of that green that we're going for there. Doesn't give me any extra points. These are old rub-ons. I think these were given to me by my former daughter-in-law, whose mom was a scrapper, and she left these supplies when she went to heaven. Let's see, I have missed a bit there. So, still didn't completely come off. And I missed a bit here. Can always go back and do that, and I've got that for later. Instead of the giant arrows going there, I'm going to do some arrows. I've punched some out, but I'm going to do this. I have a die that did this little woodland scene, and I cut it out of polka dot paper that just adds some other colors. The polka dots kind of go with this. That pink color is, sort of similar, and there's an aqua in there that kind of goes with this. I think it's enough of a there's enough thematically and color-wise that work. I'm not going to worry about the things that don't work. And there's an orange in there that kind of matches that that tag or label that I've got there. Okay, so that looks like it's reasonably straight. And then I've got these guys that that I can glue on here. It's kind of there. I've got this big bunch of journaling, which I'm going to actually kind of place up there. The width is bothering me a bit. And this is one of those things that if it doesn't work out, I'll just find a way to tuck it behind this or this. It actually fits down nicely there. So let's just leave it there for the moment, and let me go back and finish gluing these guys. Oops, I want to get that. Okay, and that's a problem that I have, not considering where the journaling is going to go until I've already kind of committed to not crazy about this overlapping heart. I'm going to put some foam under it because it doesn't really show up. The cork texture is so strong that it kind of, you're not getting any shadowing or outlining to see the, let's see, do I want to put it there? Okay, it still doesn't work as well as I'd like, but I'm gonna add my date here. August 2018. Okay, let's see. Where do I want this to go? Can I put it here? Or do I really just want to? I don't want to cover up that pattern, actually. So what I can do is kind of place it under there. And what I have to do that is to get a scrap piece of paper, which I've got here. I need something to stick to the adhesive that's there. So that this doesn't stick to it. And then what I'm going to do is let me put one of these labels on this. Let's do it with that. I'm going to do one this way, and then another one this way. I'm hoping you can see that. So I'm just they're both sticky sticker labels, and I'm gonna put this on here. And a heart. Oh, that's not where I want it. And I'm gonna put it right there. And it will, it'll be accessible out the top of the page protector when I file it. Okay, so now I'm just going to put I've got my green, and I don't have a star, so we'll look for a star in a minute. I'm going to go for a wood veneer star because they're tiny, and I think wood veneer would work well. I'm going to overlap the word smile, the title there, with on top of this paper to kind of sort of glue it down, kind of, sort of. There are a couple of, to add that gold element, I've got that gold element, I'd kind of like to repeat it somewhere, and so I really like when these guys include some images or icons like these leaf clusters, so that you can kind of add them as embellishments, and then your title isn't the only puffy foam thing. Of course, this is just not coming off the paper, and I think I may have to go for some glue. I think that's a product of, let's see, do I want to do it here and here? Okay, there's a third one that I could use out in here somewhere, but I think I'm not going to. I think I've got what I needed. I kind of like to do things in trios. The power of that number 3 is I believe in. So, but I think this is okay because we're kind of keeping it on a vertical except for the things that are coming up. So now I'm going to look through my wood veneers, and in this area here, I know I have some stars. There are these little star bursts, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for an actual traditional star. There's one right there. And all of this, I'm going to do a trio of those if I can find 3. And if I can't find 3, I'll choose 3 different images, like maybe a star, a butterfly, and let's go with an arrow, because I've got hearts already. Okay, so we'll put that back away down here, and I will pull some shiny green things to see if we maybe want to add those to anything. Let me do the little trio could be kind of right here on the white paper. There's the butterfly, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a sense of movement when you mount something on something that's kind of been squinched up. This is not an arrow, that is a, I'm going to use it anyway. It is a push pin. Okay, and here I want to use these two small ones and maybe one larger one. I'm going to go for one there, one here, and again, keeping with the vertical, maybe I'll do a small one there. Okay, I think I'm done. So this is worth 3 Calvinball points in that I've got the color green, and I have this little star, and I've been true to the sketch and the mood board. I've got my journaling block kind of hidden behind here, but accessible through the page protector. And I've reinforced that color green a couple times with the vines here and with the little jewels. So that's my page, and I'm not sure how long that took, but it wasn't a long time, and I'm happy with the results. It's exactly the mood of a page that I wanted, and so one down. My first Calvinball layout is done. Thank you for watching.